Prince Harry storms out on drunken Meghan Markle, royal divorce looms. We were telling you for over a year simply how lousy Prince Harry's marriage to Meghan Markle is. These are continuously locked in warfare over nearly the whole thing. The most important problem is Prince Harry's birthright, while sitting atop the throne, has never been huge on his listing as factors to accomplish appropriate. Meghan Markle has been on a venture to be the next Queen of Britain for greater than 30 years. And she or he is not approximately to let this opportunity pass without a combat. In keeping with the June 9th print version of Globe magazine, Meghan Markle advised Prince Harry to move back to live with his grandmother, Queen Elizabeth, after the typically heavy drinker downed even more gin. Prince Harry isn't exactly taking part in the truth that he's married to an irritated under the influence of alcohol, and after one in particularly unsightly fight, he surely stormed out of the palace that the couple shares. Of course, Meghan Markle had to get within the last jabs and ordered him to run again to his mommy. I'm now not positive if Prince Harry truly did land on the Queen's footstep, but the night chained into one greater problem example of ways the relationship is failing on a grand degree. I suppose all of us become amazed the remaining week when the protects bodyguard shot and killed his wife, even as their small children had been within the domestic. As extra information came out, we learned that the bodyguard had been accused of home violence within the Beyond, and Globe magazine is all over with this tale, with the present day information would include crime scene photographs. Also in the June 9th print edition of Globe magazine, you could find about the secret that the friend carried with him to the grave. What can or not it is. Former Beatles member Paul McCartney preventing for his existence with and struggling a fitness crisis. Globe exposes all information of Paul's war to live on this week's version for these testimonies and plenty extra. Make certain to examine Globe's June 9th trouble. Globe receives proper within the palace to record on what really takes place between the royals. I want to know what is going on among Prince Harry and Meghan Markle and the way that affects Kate Middleton and Prince William, and most effective Globe can provide that degree of reporting of accuracy. The second one I'm performed with my work nowadays that I'm sitting down with my copy for a terrific examine. Meghan Markle drops royal title. I'm not a duchess anymore. Think of this as a royal equivalent of you can't fire me, I quit. When Meghan Markle and Prince Harry first stepped down from their roles as senior members of the royal family, there was so much debate over whether the couple should be stripped of their royal titles, but now it looks as though the former Duke and Duchess of Sussex have decided to put a stop to the controversy by dropping the titles on their own. Time magazine's list of the 100 most influential people of 2020 will be revealed during an hour-long ABC special next week. The fact is that the list is being unveiled in prime time on network TV. Probably has more to do with the quarantine content drought than any public interest in the names on the list, but we disagree. The reason we mention is that this is the promo for the special refer to Harry and Meghan simply as Harry and Meghan. Now that might not seem like a very big deal, but you have to understand how seriously the Brits take their royal titles. Prior to this week, it would have been considered a major sign of disrespect to refer to the Duke and Duchess of Sussex as anything other than the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Going public as simply Harry and Meghan represents a major step towards independence for the couple, and it could have something to do with their latest rift involving the royal family. Meghan and Harry signed $100 million deal with the Netflix recently, and while the nature of the collaboration remains unknown, it has already got the royals up in arms. The reason is that the Netflix is home to the acclaimed scripted series The Crown, which takes an in-depth look at the life and reign of Queen Elizabeth II. The show provides a warts and all portrayal of the royal family, delving into such uncomfortable topics as the martial infidelities of the Queen's husband, Prince Philip, and the Nazi sympathies of her uncle, King Edward VIII. Conversations about the series is said to be forbidden in Buckingham Palace, and no member of the family has remarked on it publicly. Insiders say Prince William particularly is livid about Harry's latest business deal, and sources claim that the brothers are no longer on speaking terms. Is it mere coincidence that Harry and Meghan decided to ditch one of their last clear ties to the royals just as their long simmering feud began to bubble over again, perhaps, but it's not hard to see why so many have jumped to the conclusion that the two developments are connected. Of course, it's possible that this is just a temporary arrangement. Maybe Harry and Meghan decided to go for a casual turn for the ABC appearance, and they will be back to using their formal titles in no time, but it's equally possible that this was a deliberate and permanent move, instead more intended to send a clear message to Harry's family they are no longer in control of the former Duke and Duchess. Meghan Markle's court win may be reversed, with her friends getting exposed in legal battle. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle recently had a major win in the court case against the Associated Newspapers over the Duchess of Sussex's last month's victory against the tabloids, where she failed to keep her names private in an article by People magazine, could soon be overturned. Judge Mark Warby had ruled last month at London's High Court that the names of the Duchess' friend could remain under wraps. I've concluded, for the time being at least, the court should grant the claimant the order she seeks, he had said. As per experts, the phrase time being is great importance in the ruling, as it indicates that the ruling could be overturned in the future, quite possibly. Attorney for Associated Newspapers Anthony White claims that Meghan's friends were potential witnesses, and concealing their identity would be a heavy curtailment of the media's and defendants' entitlement to report this case and the public's right to know about it. That is when the judge acknowledged that there was a need to balance the competing demands of confidentiality, and open justice generally doesn't help the interest of justice if those involved in litigation are subjected to or surrounded by a frenzy of publicity, said the judge. At trial, this is a price that may have to be paid in the interest of transparency, but it is not a necessary concomitant of the pre-trial phase, he added. Russell Myers, Daily Mirror role editor, told Anne Gripper in the Pod Save the Queen podcast that the decision could be overturned following the killer line given by the judge. They had yet another hearing, which was to iron out the details of whether these 5 friends would be named in the court case, said Myers. The issue is that the judge said he won't grant permission for them to be named at the moment, and this is a killer line because it may transpire that these 5 friends are called to give evidence, and we have spoken before how this is really integral to the case. Queen Elizabeth sends shockwaves across palace over major health concerns. Keep her safe. Queen Elizabeth will not be returning to Buckingham Palace in a bid to keep herself safe from the coronavirus. The British monarch, who's staying at Sandringham Estate before moving on to Windsor Castle, raised major concerns over her health after recent announcement. Panic ensued after it was revealed that the Queen will not be returning to the Buckingham Palace. Instead, she and Prince Philip will be spending quiet and private time at the Sandringham Estate. Eagle-eyed royal fans have reacted to the news and said this seems like a sensible plan in order to keep the monarch out of danger. This plan makes sense. They are both quite elderly and need to take extra precautions with COVID-19, reacted an internet user. Meanwhile, another one wrote, "Keep her safe, UK. Good news, long may she reign. The longer, the better," reacted a third account. Meghan Markle and Harry. What if the Queen changes the rules of Megxit while Elizabeth II had established a specific protocol to be followed for Prince Harry and Meghan Markle? It could be that she makes changes in the coming months. The Megxit could change modalities before Prince Harry and Meghan Markle caused an earthquake in the British monarchy. They agreed to very specific rules last March after less tension within the royal family and the birth of their son Archie. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex announced that they would relinquish their senior positions and move to the other side of the Atlantic. A real thunderclap in England if Queen Elizabeth quickly assured full support the choice of the couple, even if they would have preferred that they remain full members. She didn't let them go without delimiting a framework. Together they've defined a transition framework strict so that the Megxit runs smoothly, but while it is already well underway, Sussexes have found their villa in Los Angeles and have started to sign juicy contracts. Everything could change in the coming weeks. According to expert Richard Fitzwilliams, nothing is set in stone. It is important to keep in mind that Harry and Meghan are a unique case, the royal author told the Express, recalling that they are no working royals on condition that the arrangement negotiated by the Queen at Sandringham be renewed after holding talks with Prince Charles, Prince William and His Majesty. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have agreed to follow a 1-year transition period which will therefore end in March 2021. Together, they've decided on several routes to be followed by that date, starting with the fact that Archie's parents officially renounced their rights to exercise their royal duties. They were also prevented from using the word royal in their business and personal feelings, even though they kept their full titles, terms that are not final, authorized to leave the territory, with Archie to settle first in Canada and then in the United States. The Duke and Duchess can also enter into agreements with companies, which they did with Netflix, but if their new life has indeed started in Los Angeles several months ago, it could well change, because before the Megxit was made official, they agreed to sign this transition period to make sure the arrangements for all parties are working. As a source explained at the time,